What is happening, and welcome to episode 23 of the Dargan Podcast. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Joseph. Yep.
What a day to be alive.
Welcome to the real world. So welcome back, and we are live from Phuket in Thailand, baby. In this episode, I want to take you through my first class flight from London to Thailand, how we actually got here, and I want to take you back to when I was actually broke. I mean, when I say broke, I mean £3 in the bank account, and the story from then until now, and some of the lessons that I've taken from that, sitting in that seat. So I want to first cast your mind back to December 20. He's laughing here. Joe, yeah.
Laughing because the battery's about to die.
It'll have like 30 minutes, right?
I have no idea.
All right, it'll have 30 minutes. Actually, before we get kicked off, Joe Yip, we've a running joke here that Joe Yip loves his liquid calories. Bro has just woken up and smashed the chocolate milk. First pop. Help me. This guy is recording, right?
Yes, I'm going to turn this over just in case it stops recording to me.
Okay. Oh man, that's so good. I didn't even know you could do that. All right, so Joe Yip, liquid calories, get them into you. So I first want to cast your mind back to December of 2021. I just finished my coaching course. I had spunked $5,000 on my coaching course. I spunked $2,000 on my coach. I had nothing left, right? And bear in mind, this is off the back of leaving flight school the year before. I had burnt the boats and gone all in. I mean, when I say all in, I mean I had nothing. There was no plan B, it was only plan A. And that's actually a really great lesson from the get-go, that if you give yourself no option, you are gonna go all in. And obviously I went all in fitness on coaching, and I'll take you through that. But why that was such a pivotal moment for me was, being in that first class seat. And I'll get into that again. I'll not spoil it just yet. But we went back to the 16th of December. I finished my coaching course. I had £3 in my bank account, and my current girlfriend, Tia, I took her out for lunch. I had £20 that I got from my mum. I had asked my mum for £20 to take Tia out for lunch. That was a low moment as a man. That was a low moment as a 22-year-old guy that wasn't financially stable, and I had to lean on my mum for money. I just never wanted to feel like that again. You've been in a position where you have felt your back against the ropes, you felt that pressure, you felt that pinch financially. It's not nice. It's really not nice. So I wanted to make it my mission that I never needed to lean on my mom again for that. And Tia, she's still with me. She's a real one. 2.5 years later, we're still going, and we always laugh about that she never obviously knew how broke that I was, and I knew that I had to make this work. I'd been posting for a couple of months before I finished my coaching course, and I coached one of my mates for free to build up credentials so that people would then start coaching with me in January. And at the start of January, I had 15 people that started with me. They paid me £600, I think it was, for a one-to-one on the gym floor. £600 for 15 people. That was insane. I couldn't believe that kind of money coming into my bank account. I think it was like £9,000 came into my bank account, and that was like, boom, we are back in the game. And from the get-go, I was so obsessed. I was so obsessed with personal development, with moving, with growing the business, with trying to impact and change as many lives as possible, because I wanted to make this. I had no other option. I was seen as the failure that dropped out of flight school, so I wanted to make this work. And back then, I don't even see it as like a bad time, even though of course it was embarrassing being lent money from my mum. I don't even see it as embarrassing. Those times were fun. Those times were enjoyable. When you're in the pursuit of trying to achieve something, it is fun. It's never when you achieve the goal, it's working towards the goal. That's when it's really enjoyable. And what you focus on, you feel, right? And there's this tale of the two wolves, and I actually want to read this out to you. So One evening, an old Cherokee told his grandson about a battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside us all. One is evil, it is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. And the other is good. It's joy, it's peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." The grandson thought about it for a minute, and then he asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" And the old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." What you focus on, you feed. And back then, I was focusing on what I had. I was focusing on what was in front of me. I was so grateful for that opportunity to, get another go at life, to have an inkling of something that I wanted to do. And when you focus on what you have as opposed to what you don't, you're going to be more forward thinking. When you wake up and say, today's going to be a good day, that's something that I started to do within the past 6 months and it's really helped. I wake up every morning and I say, I am the man and today is going to be a banger. You need to believe that you are the man. People talk about confidence and how to become confident. Of course, it's having a stack of proof that you are who you say you are, right? Everybody knows that now. It's having enough evidence that you keep your word. Number two, it's really believing that you are the man, and you have to, and that's not arrogance. If you tell yourself that you're confident and you back that up with behavior, you will feel like that. And if that allows me to show up the best version of me, to impact as many people as possible, that's what I'm going to do. I say, I am the man and today's going to be a banger. When I tell myself today's going to be a banger and I think that it's going to be, I think about the positives, I will start to look for the positives in my day to reaffirm that. If you wake up and you say today's going to be a shit day, you will have a shit day, because you'll start to look for evidence to back up that statement. So which wolf will win? It's the one that you feed. So don't feed the negativity. Don't feed the bullshit. Don't feed, what I don't have. Don't feed, I'm a victim, the world's out against me. Victim mentality. If you have a victim mentality, you are going to suffer. If you have a victim mentality, you're going to struggle. And the thing is, the sun will still rise in the morning and it's going to set in the evening. The world's going to keep spinning. And you're going to be in the same position in 6 months' time. So I want you to realize that you have responsibility to change your life. And that is a good thing, not a bad thing. So focus on the good, even when you're going through the struggle. Even when you're on that rise. And, I started on the gym floor. I knew that's not what I wanted to do long term, but I got my foot in the door. It got me the reps. I met the best people ever. And, we grew Daniel Dargan Academy. That was the embryonic stages of it, and I wanted to be on the gym floor for 6 months, 8 months, and then move the business online. I feel like so many people, they glorify the online. Like I'm straight up, I'd be sitting at the desk for 12 to 14 hours a day, no issue. But it gives me the flexibility and the freedom, and we have an even higher level of accountability. We focus on people's sleep, their energy, their stress, everything, and it allows us to get even better results because the accountability is to a much higher degree than what it would have been otherwise. And it's insane that we're working with people from all over the world. Like Daniel of a couple of years ago never thought that. So I want you to look back at the past 5 years and look at how much you've changed as an individual. Look at the things that you've achieved. Let that be evidence for how much you could change in the next 5 years. Let that be evidence how much you could change in the next 6 months. Don't think, the world's out to get me, I can't do anything. No, look how much you have changed, use that as evidence, and let that propel you forward. Feed the right wolf. And you're in a constant state of becoming. That's one of the most important things as well. And that's something that I always hit home. You're in a constant state of becoming, and if I do what I've always done, I'm going to get what I've always had. So you don't want to be a loser. You don't want to be someone that's waking up on a Monday feeling anxious and down. Okay, Daniel, don't go out and smash drugs on a Saturday night. Get up, go to the gym, go for a C-dip, start working on your business and start helping other people. you're gonna feel better off the back of that, right? No shit. So if you do what you've always done, you're gonna get what you've always had. So if you're in a position where you don't want to be, look to other habits, other inputs, and that's gonna get you a different output. I started posting content 6 months, 8 months down the line. Things started to pick up. I'm gonna put this AC on because I'm sweltering in here. Just getting so into the pod. So 8 months down the line, my Instagram blew up. But 2 months before that, I decided to move away and pivot off the gym floor. I lost 75 to 80% of my clientele because they didn't want to move online. And I had to take such a big step back. I felt like I was going back to where I was, as in I felt like I was going back to being broke again. And that scarcity mindset, it stayed with me for a wee while after that. But feeling like you're gonna lose everything just when you've got it, that was a scary feeling. But I also knew where I was going, and that's why it's so important for you to get clear on where you're going. If you wake up and hope to feel good and hope to end up where you want to go, it is not going to happen. You need to get so clear on where you're going. You need to get so crystal clear on where that North Star is, because when you have a North Star, I think the batteries just died. When you have a North Star, when you know where you're going to go, you can ask yourself, what behaviors align with that North Star? What behaviors align with that North Star? And what behaviors don't align with that North Star? But when you don't have an idea of where you're going, you're floating aimlessly out at sea. It is a dangerous position to be in. Now, my camera has just died, so looks like we're gonna raw dog it for the rest of the podcast. You got like what? We got like 10 minutes there? All right, okay, good. You know what I actually done yesterday? I'm having a nightmare with this technology. This is like, you think I would have done like one podcast. I had recorded it yesterday and it wasn't plugged in. The mic wasn't plugged in just ever so slightly, and it didn't get any of the audio. I literally recorded for about an hour and 90 minutes, but silver linings, we go again. We got another hurdle today, we're good. We're good. We're in Thailand. We're living with our mates. Life is good. It's how you frame it. You know, before, it's actually crazy. A couple of years ago, I literally would have freaked if this happened twice, 2 days in the bounce. But these things happen. That's okay. Black coffee hits. So from there, I'm just gonna make sure the mic's still on, so I'm not talking and nothing's coming out. So from there, what I done, pivoted online. I went from like 40 clients to 11 clients. That's a big jump. 40 clients to 11. I'm gonna set my phone up here. So I went from 40 clients to 11 clients. It took such a backseat to then move forward. And that's what I want you to realize. Sometimes you have to burn the boats to get where you want to go. Sometimes you have to risk it all to get where you want to go. And if there's no risk, if there's nothing on the line, is it worthwhile at all? If you look at anything worthwhile, if you look at anything valuable that you obtain, there has to be an element of risk to it, or else everybody would have it and then it wouldn't be valuable, right? So August of 22, I move online. September of 22, my social media then blows up. We go up to 200,000 followers out of nowhere from posting every single day, and we didn't miss. And again, you make your luck as well. I want you to remember that. And fast forward now to 2 years down the line, the online business, we built it and we have grown our operators to, it's insane where it is now. Dargan Coaching Academy and the people that we have on board. And I don't like talking. I understand that people don't like talking about money. I don't really care about that. I'm literally an open book. I will tell you anything about relationships, about my life, about my story, about like financially. I don't care. Like, I understand people. It's important for people to keep things private and close to their chest. I actually don't care. I am an open book. But I was really struggling financially beforehand, and to get to a position now where I can come out to Thailand, to the other side of the world, I can fly business class out to Thailand and know that that was earned. That was not by chance, that was not by luck. Like, that was sitting at the laptop for 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, no rest, and that was it. It was every single day. And I always tell this story that I used to go to Boojum on a Saturday night when everybody was going out, everybody was partying. I would have went to Boojum on a Saturday night, and I would have, Boojum's a Mexican restaurant for anyone who doesn't know. I would have went to Boojum on a Saturday night. I would have sat with Narcos Netflix on my phone, and I would have sat on my own watching Netflix for 2 hours and went to bed at 9 o'clock to get up and record content in the morning. I was willing to have no fun. I was willing to accept that suck up front to then have this down the line, to be able to come out to Thailand, to be able to live the way I want to live and have flexibility and freedom and impact people on such a much greater scale than I could have before. So I want you to ask yourself the question, what kind of life do I want? And am I willing to actually pay the price for that? A lot of people think they want that thing, but they're not actually willing to make the sacrifices. Like, people come on, people, speak to me in my Instagram DM, they're like, oh, I want to have a six pack. But then they want to go out every single weekend and they want to have their Chinese on a Friday. It's like, no, you don't get that choice. Pick one. And people think, oh, well, it's not as black and white. If you want to get absolutely ripped, it is black and white. So make your mind up. And that's me being really straight with you. If you always shoot for balance, you're going to have nothing. If you pick one, nail it, then move, you're going to have everything you want. It's like that quote that goes back to, you can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. I want to get ripped. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice for 12, 16 weeks, and then afterwards I'm going to have flexibility and freedom with my food. So back to the story. 2 years down the line, we're now sitting in July, we're 1st of August, is it 1st of August? I think it's the 31st of July, 2024. And as I said, like, flew from London out to Thailand. It's myself, Tony, and Joseph, and Joseph's girlfriend Hannah has just joined us. I call him Joe. I don't never call him Joseph. Yep, has just joined us, and we're out here to bang out work. We're out here banging content, and we're working on a few really exciting things together, and it's insane. I'm really, really grateful that we have this opportunity. We've got the villa we're staying in is beautiful, and I just honestly am so grateful that we are where we are. I was just taking a second now to think about that, and be present with it. Sometimes you just get caught up in the day to day, but sometimes you just need to actually just sit with it, right? So the flight. For me, I don't value watches, fancy cars, designer. I don't value those things. But what I do value is comfort. I value waking up the next day and feeling good. And that's why, like, for me, getting a business class flight and for 18, 20 hours of traveling, I feel like that's something like I of course that I value. And when I sat in that seat, I felt like, oh my God, like, I actually earned this. Is something that I wanted from a kid, to be able to afford on my own as a kid. And so that was like that was special for me. And that would have been like 2-3 months salary of what I would have made when I worked in the coffee shop 3 years ago. I've done so many things. When I worked in the coffee shop, I sold shoes, we sold secondhand clothes, I worked in Topshop. I've done so many things, and that would have been literally a couple of months salary for me doing that. And going onto that flight and sitting there knowing that I'd earned it, that was such a rewarding feeling. So the first leg was from London to Dubai, and then Dubai onwards. So I was meant to be meeting Joe and Tony in Dubai, and we were getting in the same flight to Phuket. Tony and Joe, the flight got overbooked. And basically what happened was they rocked up to the gate and they rocked up to check in. They said, it's closed. Flight is closed. That is it. So they put them up at a 5-star hotel, give them like a free round trip, complimentary trip for whenever they want to use it down the line, and then had a chauffeur back and forth to the hotel. So I mean, that was that was the L. I think that's a pretty decent L. So silver linings with that. But so I was a solo step. I flew out on my own, and the first flight I slept, and you get a bed with a duvet, and you get as much unlimited drink as you want. There's a big bar at the back, and I had a couple of drinks. When in Rome, you gotta light it up. You gotta light them up. I did have a couple of drinks, and then I'd done some work for about 3 or 4 hours, and then I went to sleep. And when I got to Dubai, the boys told me that they weren't coming. I was like, oh my God, like what an L. But again, we're still going. See you tomorrow. It's gonna be sweet. So I go to the gate. This is where it gets interesting. So I go to the gate. I put my ticket through the scanner. It shoots me out another ticket. I didn't even think twice about it. I was just like, all right, whatever. And I go on to the flight. I walk down to 11B. That's my seat. And there's a lady in my seat. I say to her, excuse me, that's my seat. Fuck off. No, I didn't. I say, sorry, excuse me, that's my seat. No, I say, excuse me, that's my seat. She says, no, it's my seat. And I was like, I'm kind of 11B, like. And she said, no, here's my ticket. So I looked down at this new ticket that I printed, and it said 2K. It says 2K suite. I was like, wait, what? So I moved down towards the front of the plane, and I kept going, and I kept going. I was like, oh my God, there's no more business class seats. It was fucking first class. First class. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I called the flight attendant. I was like, has there been a mistake here? I was like, no, there's no way. And she says, oh, you've been upgraded. I was like, what did I deserve to do this? What did I deserve for this? And you know what? That's karma. I'm telling myself that's karma from all those days where I was freezing my chopper off back in Ballygally. So, karma. What you give out, you get back, baby. That's what I'm telling myself. And it was insane. You literally had like a little hotel room for 7 hours. It was like a double bed. You had your own. There was one person who was catering to you and like one other person. It was ridiculous. There was like on the menu, I don't even eat these things. There was like caviar, crab, there was steak. Like it was insane. It was ridiculous. Anytime my drink was like slightly nearly finished, like halfway nearly finished, she came up and boom, another one. Thank God I literally had like 2 beers. Like you could have come off that flight disabled, legless from the amount of drink you could have got. It was ridiculous. But yeah, got off to Phuket, and it was honestly, that was something I'll remember for the rest of my days. But to look back at where I was and to see how far things have came. And again, I'm not saying this to flex, I'm not saying this to show off. You know me by now, that's not what this is about. I just want to show you that if you put your mind to something, like you can literally do anything. And no matter how low you are, personally, financially, things can turn around. If you give yourself no option, if you give yourself no plan B, if you put your back against the wall and put one foot in front of the other, you literally cannot fail. You cannot fail. But you need to start taking risks. You know the thing that you know the thing that you need to do. You know that thing that you want to do, and whether you act on it or you don't, the world it is no impact. It is no impact on the world. That's what I tell myself. The world's just gonna keep spinning, and I'm gonna be the one that loses out. So I may as well just take the action on it. And Alex Ramosi said in one of the podcasts, in 3 generations' time, you and everybody will be long gone, including people who hated on you, including the people who betted against you. So you may as well do it anyway. People will not remember. In 100 years' time, your car is going to be scrapped. The picture on the wall, it's going to have eroded away. You don't even know your own great grandfather. So what makes you think that they will know you? Just zoom out. Realize that, none of this matters. And that's a good thing, not from a existential crisis, not from a nihilistic perspective, but nothing matters. So you may as well just go all in and enjoy yourself and take risks. And when you're in your 20s and your 30s, that's when you should be doing high risk behavior. That's when you should be going for high risk strategy. If that's starting, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna leave my stable job and I'm gonna start posting videos, I'm gonna start doing X, Y, Z. Obviously, what I would do, I would make sure that you stay in the stable job, post videos on the side. But again, if it's jumping ship and going traveling and like seeing the world, that's gonna be a better experience than life experience than anything you do, okay? So high risk activity, now. Don't wait until people flip. We have this all wrong. People flip this on its head. They're like, oh, I'll get the stable job and I'll have kids and then I'll work till I'm 60 and then I'll do all these things. It's like, lad, you're gonna be fucked by the time you're 70. What makes you think that you're gonna pop off to Thailand or Bali when you're 70 and actually have a great experience? Let's not lie to ourselves. When you're 70, you're not gonna enjoy these things the same way you will when you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. Like, let's be real here. So do those things now. Do those things when you have less strings attached so that down the line, you know you've done it and you have no regrets with that. That's how I see it anyway. So don't kid yourself. Put yourself in an uncomfortable position if you know there's something that you want to do. What is the worst that could happen? Because, for me, if I went into coaching, I went all in, I went balls to the walls, I was living with my parents. When I say I was, still am. I bounce about and been traveling for the past year, so it makes no sense for me to have moved out and pay for a house. If things didn't work out with coaching, worst case scenario was I would still be living with my parents. That's a pretty good last resort. That's a pretty good L. If that's the worst case, then I'm just in the position where I'm already in, and I probably have so many things that I've learned along the way, right? So that's the lesson for you. High risk behavior, you need to believe and back yourself and take the risk and feed the wolf that is positive. Feed the wolf that is going to actually bring you forward, not all this negative bullshit. I feel like in today's day and age, there's so many guys that are just pity partying, victim mentality, and in my opinion, it's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing. A man should not be playing the victim card. A man should not be just playing a pity party, feeling sorry for themselves. And I've been in that position where I've been that guy, and when I look back at it, I am embarrassed that I let myself get to that stage, that I didn't say, fuck this, I am going to actually take control of my situation. And, I let it fester so much. And this is why, people think, oh, well, that's harsh saying that. It's not. This could be the turning point for somebody that's in that position to say, actually, you know what? Fuck that. I'm actually going to take a stand as a man and I'm going to start putting one foot in front of the other. If that's you showing up for yourself, going to the gym, great, do that. And if you're unsure of what you want to do, pursue yourself, get up, go to the gym. Eat healthy food and actually focus on you and stop focusing on what's wrong. Stop focusing on how the world's out to get you, because shock story, it's not. It's really, really not. So that's some hard truths for you, because that's what some people just need to hear. That's what I would have needed to hear back in the day. I would have needed a kick in the hole, and some people need that. So plan for the next couple of months. We are out in Thailand. We are in Phuket at the moment. We went out last night to the night market. It was actually jokes. We had, oh my God, we had durian, which is the smelliest fruit in the world. We had crocodile. So the durian was like, it was like a mixture between sulfur and oh my God, it was awful. I literally feel sick thinking about it now. It was like sulfur, oh my God, it was like some vomit. It was, I can literally smell it now. Oh my God. And then we crocodile, which is literally like steak. It was steak. They put there was some sort of sauce on it, which actually took away from the taste of it, which is great. But it was like a really chewy steak. Then we went on and had octopus. It was minging. It was literally like chewing plastic. It was fucking grim. But we wanted to try these things. We were vlogging last night at the night market, and it was such good crack. It was such good crack. Wasn't a late night. We literally just went out, ate food, had a bit of crack. I woke up lighter, obviously, this morning, because I was like, I'm not eating that shit. I'm not scranning that. So it was good crack. Then we actually don't really plan that much ahead with what we're going to do when it comes to going out and restaurants and like that. We just take it as it comes. But we're living out here. We're gonna blast content. We're working harder than ever, and we're living while we're doing it. And you know, that's what I want you to do. You know, if you've got an opportunity to live your life and see new things and meet new people in the next 12 months, then I want you to really grab that opportunity with both hands, because you know, there's gonna come a day where you wish you took that opportunity. So let this be the sign that you need. So I will love you. I will leave you from the best to the best, and please like, share, follow, the whole shebang. We are gonna run so many more podcasts. We have a podcast studio booked for tomorrow. It's an insane setup, and we're gonna do a 3-way podcast, me, Joe, and Wolfie. So it's gonna be fire. So stay tuned for episode 24. But I appreciate you. Big love. I really hope this is recorded, or else I'm gonna do the beef. And I will catch you in the next one. And as a wise man once said, let's go, baby. Boom.